शायद डिप्टी सीएम का पद आपको चाहिए था, भाजपा से बहुत पहले ही जाना चाहते थे, लेकिन वीर जी शायद उसके लिए तैयार नहीं थे क्योंकि एक लॉबी बन जाती, इसलिए राज्यसभा का जरिया चुना गया।
नहीं।
तो उन सब बयानों पे आपका स्पष्टीकरण शायद
ये सब गलत है, कोई मतलब है। दिस वाज माय ओन पर्सनल डिसीजन and I'm grateful that immediately within 48 hours they have nominated me to the राज्यसभा। तो कुछ तो क्वालिटीज होंगी, अदरवाइज लेके रख देते थे। तो सवाल ये
कह रहे हैं कि वो तो विपक्ष तोड़ना चाहते हैं।
नहीं, आई हैव आस्क्ड एनीबॉडी। मैंने किसी भी हमारे एमएलए या विधायक या किसी से मैंने बात करके पार्टी छोड़ने के लिए उनको प्रवृत्त किया है कि कुछ है, मैंने किसी से बात नहीं। राइट फ्रॉम डे वन आई हैव बीन सेइंग दैट आई हैव नॉट आस्क्ड एनी।
हेलो, आप तो वो हो ना भैया, बताओ ना हमारी लॉटरी कब लगेगी?
कमाल है, हमें कल ही फीलिंग आई थी। इन हाथों कुछ शुभ काम
हमारा नहीं है। खैर थोड़ी अभी उनका इश्यू है, मुझे उससे कुछ कहना नहीं है। इट्स माय ओन इंडिविजुअल डिसीजन टू ज्वाइन द बीजेपी एंड व्हाटएवर हैपेंस इट इज माय रिस्पांसिबिलिटी and I will see that it succeeds।
अपने इंटरव्यूज में सर आपने एक बात कही कि छोड़ना होता तो 10 साल पहले ही छोड़ देते। कहा यह भी जा रहा है कि 2 साल से आप छोड़ने की तैयारी कर रहे थे। मीडिया में कई बार भी खबरें आती थी जब आपसे हम बातचीत।
मुझे पता है तैयारी 2 साल से कर रहे, 6 महीने से कर रहे, साल। ये बात में कोई सच्चाई नहीं है। फैक्ट है कि पार्टी में बड़ा
छोड़ने के पहले तक आप मीटिंग में थे शामिल।
एक्चुअली आई वर्क फॉर द पार्टी राइट टिल द डे ऑफ मैंने कि 6 महीने पहले बंद कर दिया का, वैसे है नहीं। Nobody can criticize me। और मैंने पार्टी के फंक्शंस रखे, प्रोग्राम्स रखे, राइट टिल द डे आई लेफ्ट द पार्टी आई वाज फुल्ली इन्वॉल्वड इन द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ माय पार्टी। Isn't it appreciable? Tell me, isn't it appreciable that मैं आखिरी तक काम करते हैं? कोई इसकी मैंने लोगों को गुमराह किया अचानक, ऐसी बात नहीं है। But in spite of the problems being faced and in spite of all the issues still before us, still I worked for the party। ये तो अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? क्या मेरी गलती थी मुझे बताइए। मैंने अगर मेरे को कुछ करना ही था तो 6 महीने पहले, साल भर पहले सोच के वो घर में बैठ जाता था या नहीं आता था। पार्टी का हर फंक्शन, हर प्रोग्राम, हर मीटिंग, हर इश्यूज पे मैंने डिस्कस किया। आई पार्टिसिपेटेड इन द एमबीए मीटिंग्स आल्सो। तो इट इजंट बाय सिंसियरिटी।
हुआ क्या सर? जैसे एक रात आपने ये तय कर लिया।
सवाल एक रात का नहीं है। ऑफ कोर्स ये चिंता तो थी भाई ये सब ऐसे चल रहा है, कैसे होगा इसका। तो देन कोई फैसला तो किसी दिन करना ही था। किसी दिन करना था हर चीज के लिए। कोई अच्छा दिन आ गया, मैंने कहा ठीक है करो।
कई चुनाव आपने जीते हैं सर। आपने 2014 का जो जिक्र किया इसलिए मायने रखता है क्योंकि उसमें मोदी लहर थी, कांग्रेस के खिलाफ एक लहर थी, उसके बावजूद आप जीते। और अगर मैं सवाल ये पूछूं कि उस समय की कांग्रेस और इस वक्त की कांग्रेस, ज्यादा दूर अगर ना भी जाएं, सिर्फ इन सालों में क्या कुछ बदल गया है? कांग्रेस कितनी बदल गई?
कांग्रेस को बदलना होगा। सवाल ऐसा है कि कांग्रेस बदली नहीं, ये तो प्रॉब्लम है ना। आज की जो चैलेंजेस है, आज का तो एज है, आज की जो युवा पीढ़ी है, आज की जो समस्याएं हैं, आज की जो अपेक्षाएं हैं, अगर उसके ऊपर केंद्रित नहीं कर जीते हो कैसे? देयर इज अ मिसमैच बिटवीन व्हाट पीपल वांट एंड व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, व्हिच द अदर साइड इज डूइंग इट स्किलफुली। So I think somewhere we are missing the mood of the nation. We are missing to tap the pulse of the people. And that's why we are not taking decisions. तो ये इशू है जिसके ऊपर मैं समझता हूँ, मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ, कई ऐसे साथी हैं जो चिंतित है कि भाई कुछ नहीं हो रहा तो हम आगे कैसा होगा। कोई बोल नहीं रहा है, बट इट इज सिंकिंग डे बाय डे।
कह भी रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी की कांग्रेस में जो दिग्गज नेता हैं, कद्दावर नेता हैं, आप जैसे कद के नेता हैं, वो छोड़ रहे हैं, तो आज कांग्रेस कहाँ खड़ी है? वाकई कहाँ खड़ी है? मैं अगर आपसे पूछूं कि कांग्रेस इस वक्त कहाँ है आपके निकलने के बाद, अगर मैं महाविकास अघाड़ी के बारे में पूछूं, क्योंकि सबसे मजबूत अगर कोई पार्टी दिख रही थी शिवसेना एनसीपी के टूटने के बाद तो कांग्रेस दिख रही थी। उसके बारे में कहा भी जा रहा था कि सबसे मजबूत विपक्षी दल है यहाँ पर। आपके निकलने के बाद अब कांग्रेस भी बिखरी हुई है, तो कहाँ है महाविकास अघाड़ी और कहाँ इंडिया अलायंस?
आई हैव लेफ्ट द पार्टी, सो आई वुड लाइक टू कमेंट ऑन what's going on within the MBA. I think that's for them to introspect, it's for them to decide. I am a small man in the party, which I was. I have left and I have switched over. Maybe I think I will succeed here. It's my own decision. What happens there is none of my concern now. It was a concern when I was there, but I can't be the same what I was. I have switched over. So ये issue अभी जो होगा उनकी जिम्मेदारी है जो वहाँ बैठे हुए।
हाईकमान से आपने बात की सर, क्या आपको जवाब आया? क्या
ये नहीं कहा कि मैं पार्टी छोड़ रहा हूँ, पर मैंने उनको मौजूदा स्थिति के बारे में अवगत जरूर किया था।
क्या उनका रिएक्शन था? क्या आपको लगा कि उस तरफ उनका ध्यान?
अब छोड़िए, क्या करना है, लेट्स नॉट टॉक।
ठीक है, इस पर अगर हम ऐसे कि अब आगे क्या? अब हम देख रहे हैं अब राज्यसभा में
नई शुरुआत है, नई इनिंग्स है, नई इनिंग्स से जोर से काम करेंगे। नया तजुर्बा है, नए लोग हैं, नई पार्टी है, तो काम करेंगे। तजुर्बा काम का है, मेहनत करने की पूरी तैयारी है और जो उतरे हुए काम में निश्चित तौर पर उसमें सक्सीड हो जाएंगे, ऐसी उम्मीद मैं करता हूँ, क्योंकि हमने किया है, जो किया है उसको बहुत जो ईमानदारी से और जोर से किया है, तो उसका बेनिफिट मिल रहा है। तो उम्मीद है कि ऐसे इससे भी ज्यादा, और अगर निश्चित तौर पर मुझे उम्मीद है कि अप्रिशिएट किया जाएगा इसको।
कांग्रेस में जब आप थे सर, कई आपके पक्ष रहे, ऐसे समय में जब आप बीजेपी के साथ हैं और ऐसे समय में जब किसान के मुद्दे से घिरी हुई है सरकार, यहाँ पर मराठा आरक्षण हो या फिर कानून व्यवस्था के मुद्दे हो, जिस तरह से सरकार घिरी हुई है और जो आवाज आप कांग्रेस में रहते हुए उठाए थे, आज आपको सरकार का पक्ष जमीन पर इनके बीच रखना होगा, वो कितना चुनौतीपूर्ण होगा?
चुनौतीपूर्ण से ज्यादा मैं एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव पॉलिटिकल काम करना चाहूंगा। यहाँ की सरकार को भी मैं मेरे तजुर्बे से और जो भी करना जरूरी है, यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री उप मुख्यमंत्रियों से संपर्क करके स्टेट के इश्यूज को प्रायोरिटी में हैंडल करने के लिए निश्चित तौर पर योगदान अगर वो चाहते तो देने के लिए तैयार हूँ।
बड़ा मुद्दा आपको क्या लग रहा था महाराष्ट्र में भी?
नहीं, महाराष्ट्र में अभी तो इमीडिएट इशू तो रिजर्वेशन का है, जो जिसके ऊपर एजुटेशन बहुत जोर से,
हालत भी बहुत खराब हो रखी है जरंगी पाटिल की, वो कह रहे हैं कि वो अनशन तोड़ेंगे नहीं।
वो इशू भी है, वो भी सीरियस इशू है। मराठा आरक्षण इज अ मेजर इशू, इसके ऊपर बहुत रेस्टलेसनेस है, तो उसके ऊपर ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है। किसानों के समस्याएं जो है उसके ऊपर ध्यान केंद्रित करके कॉन्स्टेंट उसके ऊपर मॉनिटरिंग करने की आवश्यकता है। तो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का इशू भी बहुत है, तो दी इश्यूज नीड टू बी एड्रेस, और उसमें हर चीज़ को एक सोल्यूशन है, और सोल्यूशन को इम्प्लीमेंट करके मैं नहीं कहूँगी कि ओवरनाइट कुछ चेंज हो सकता है, बट जो भी करना है देयर आर एफर्ट्स, वी हैव टू ऐड समथिंग टू दैट।
जी सर, आखिरी सवाल लूंगी चुनावी बॉन्ड पर। आज एक बड़ा फैसला आया सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, जहां उन्होंने इसको असंवैधानिक बताया है। विपक्ष का बड़ा बयान आया कि कहीं ना कहीं ये बीजेपी के लिए रिश्वत या कमीशन की तरह वो स्कीम था। उस पर आपकी प्रतिक्रिया होगी क्या?
I have not read the judgment. What I came to know about it only in the afternoon, so I have not seen the judgment. But Supreme Court's decision is the law of the land. So naturally, when Supreme Court says something, I think necessary amendments, I think it will be examined by the Law and Judicial Department of the Government of India, and whatever is deemed necessary. I think the entire idea of bonds was to bring in transparency in election funding, which was the basic idea of doing that. Now transparency and whatever the Supreme Court has said, I am not aware of that, but in keeping in mind those opinion or decision, I think the government ought to do something about it.
हमारे साथ हैं मशहूर एक्टर अनिल कपूर, और उनसे इस वक्त बारी है कुछ रैपिड फायर क्वेश्चंस की। अनिल जी, आपको बस जल्दी जल्दी हाँ ना में बताना पड़ेगा। खाने में क्या पसंद है, मीठा या नमकीन?
नमकीन।
योगा या जिम?
जिम और योगा, सॉरी बोथ।
वेट्स या फ्री हैंड?
वेट्स।
मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल विद विच एक्ट्रेस?
माधुरी दीक्षित।
एनी फेवरेट डायरेक्टर्स?
डैनी बॉयल, शेखर कपूर, quite a few of them.
हर्षवर्धन आपकी सुनते हैं या अपनी मम्मी की?
किसी की नहीं सुनते।
सोनम आपसे ज्यादा क्लोज है या मम्मी से?
मम्मी से।
घर में किसकी ज्यादा चलती है?
मम्मी की।
मम्मी की? आपकी मम्मी की?
मम्मी मतलब सुनीता, सोनम की मम्मी, और सारस की मम्मी, और रिया की मम्मी।
What's fitness for you?
Way of life.
What's your favorite sport?
Badminton at the moment.
Who's the better actor, Sonam or Harshvardhan?
Both.
Better actor.
Both are great actors, good actors. They have to work hard and become better.
What do you prefer now? आपको क्या ज्यादा पसंद है, long format या फिर फिल्में?
Both, I think. It's very, because I think I've done both, and I've enjoyed doing both of them. I did a long format, I did 24, and I did Night Manager, and of course फिल्में तो मैं बचपन से कर रहा हूँ।
Any all-time favorite film?
Miss India, yeah, it's my all-time favorite film. Yeah, it's a lovely film, wonderful film. I revisited it again when I did one of the ads, and there's something very, something which really it's stood the test of time. Yeah.
Like your preferred genre for film, comedy or action?
Comedy, because comedy is something which you either you can do it or you have it, or you don't have it. Their lighting, director, music, background music, that cannot help you. You have to do it yourself. With action and dramatic scenes, and with anger, and violence, sex. There's a lot of things which can really help you in that. जबरदस्त background music चलेगा, ऐसा लगेगा बहुत जबरदस्त काम हो रहा है। कॉमेडी में सब चलेगा नहीं, कॉमेडी में खुद कर रहा हूँ।
सोशल मीडिया पसंद है आपको? Are you on Instagram?
Yes.
What is Gen Z for you?
Gen Z for me is, I think, Gen Z is the mind, For me, anybody who has a young mind, for me is Gen Z. Yeah.
You would call yourself a Gen Z?
Absolutely.
Great.
Indian diaspora, which is pretty strong and robust here in UAE, are actually showcasing this as their big presence. Modi hai to mumkin hai. You look at these visuals of euphoria and great celebrations, you realize that this is almost like a mini India that we are seeing outside India.
भारत यूएई दोस्ती जिंदाबाद.
Beautiful Baps temple crowning glory in what has been Prime Minister's image as Hindu Hriday Samrat.
This is all about Indian culture as well, and also an amalgamation of the culture in the UAE and India.
This temple is a symbol of the centuries of the social, economic and cultural connect between Bharat and the Gulf.
This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Farmers Union announced the Bharat Bandh, which started early this morning and is going to last till about 4 o'clock in the evening. A strike that aims to address the demands put forth by the farmers. It's a day-long protest, and the farmers demand MSP for their produce. The farmers demand strengthening as far as other demands are concerned. Initiated by PKU. Government farmers deadlock continues as round 3 of the talks on Thursday remain inconclusive. Now the rest round of talks is expected on Sunday between the government and the farmers. Can a breakthrough take place? That is the big question. In Manipur, fresh violence has erupted in the sensitive area of Churachandpur. 2 people have died and 40 others have been injured. Reports of arson of vehicles and government properties being damaged during the clashes between the security forces and hundreds of people who came out to protest against the suspension of a head constable. In West Bengal's Sandesh Khalid Rao has now reached the top court with a plea coming up in the Supreme Court seeking a special investigation team or a CBI team to probe the matter. And Gaza hospital under attack by the Israeli forces. This is amid the Israel-Gaza war. Israeli tanks and soldiers enter the hospital compound. 1 person has died, several others have been injured. Very good morning. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vatwa. We have a whole lot lined up for you. Various farmer unions, including the SKM, have called for that Bharat Bandh, which started early this morning. It's going to be on till about 4 o'clock in the evening. So this day-long bandh, of course, the SKM had requested all like-minded farmer organizations to come together and to be part of this day-long protest. The protesting farmers will continue their march to Delhi, but hold another round of talks, and that's going to happen on Sunday. To get more on this, we have my colleague Vedant joining us from the Singhu border to get us a sense of what the situation is on the ground. Vedant, talks, that was a round 3 of talks between the farmers and the government remained inconclusive on Thursday evening. You know, we do know it started pretty late in the evening, continued till very late at night. Bhagwant Mann was part of that meeting, Piyush Goyal, and of course we also had the Agriculture Minister Arjun Munda present there. But no conclusive talks came out, and now what they have really decided upon is they're going to give it more than 30 hours before they regroup and decide to resolve this problem once and for all. Vedant, take us through, what is their major point of contention?
Well, Divya, you see, today is a very important day as far as the farmers' agitation is concerned because, of course, on the one hand, you have the farmers of Punjab and Haryana camping at the Shambhu border, ahead of their Delhi Chalo march. And on the other hand, you have the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha, which is perhaps one of the largest bodies of farmers in the country. And they have called for a nationwide Bharat Bandh. They will, of course, be organizing chakka jams across the capital and across across the nation indeed. And this is a Grameen Bharat Bandh that they have called for, which means that the village services, whether it's agriculture or distribution of things like distribution of milk, etc. here in the national capital, all those services will be hampered. But look at the kind of security arrangements made here, and these security arrangements have been ramped up because it's not just the Delhi Chalo march that the Delhi police is now going to stop, but also the call for the Bharat Bandh. In fact, many protesting farmers are expected to also, in a sense, arrive at the Jantar Mantar. Now, those are basically Sanyukt Kisan Morcha farmers and also trade unions and labor unions. In fact, I can ask my camera person Suresh Ram to keep following me as I move closer to the border checkpoint. In fact, interestingly, Divya, the banner that was put here, of course, that was a permanent banner that demarcated the border between Delhi and Haryana. That banner has been removed in a bid to, in a sense, confuse the farmers and not have a clear demarcation of the border. And you have these rapid action forces manning the border at all times. And these, the personnel have also increased here, particularly for today, because you have the Delhi police looking also to counter the Bharat Bandh call. Of course, that should also not escalate into a law and order a menace as far as the situation in Delhi is concerned, because a lot of these farmer unions and trade unions will be moving towards Jantar Mantar today. It's going to be a peaceful protest, is what the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha has said. And remember, as far as the demands are concerned, Divya, the demands are similar of the SKM as well as, in this entire Delhi Chalo agitation as well. Because the SKM has also said that there needs to be a legal guarantee on the minimum support price. Apart from that, demands like government action against over-privatization of electricity and agriculture. That is also one of their crucial demands. Apart from that, they also say that the Manrega scheme, which is, of course, the central government's employment guarantee scheme, that should also be strengthened. That is a key demand, which is why the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha has invited various labor unions and various trade organizations to come and participate in this Bharat Bandh call. So these are some of their demands. And remember, as far as the Delhi Chalo protest is concerned, the farmers have said that they, it's ceasefire, so to speak, till the time the third round of talks are held, which is on Sunday. But today, a crucial day for farmer, as it's called in India, farmer Kisan Majdoor Ekta. That it's a crucial day for that bid today, because you have the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha, which so far, in a sense, stayed away from the Delhi Chalo call, also now calling for a Bharat Bandh. They will be organizing chakka jams across the national capital. It's a Grameen Bandh, as I said, and they've also specified in their statement that essential services like ambulances, transportation, distribution of newspapers, medical shops, those will not be hampered. But they've invited labor organizations, trade unions and farmer unions from across India to participate in this Bharat Bandh call. But let's listen into what happened in the meeting yesterday from the Agriculture Minister and the Commerce Minister who went there to Chandigarh to meet the farmers delegation, and also Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, because the talks, while they remain inconclusive, the government said that they were increasingly positive. Take a look.
पॉजिटिव चर्चा हुई है। किसान संगठनों ने जिन विषयों पर ध्यान आकृष्ट कराया है, संज्ञान में लेते हुए विस्तार पूर्वक चर्चा को हमने करते हुए अगली तिथि रविवार को शाम 6 बजे के लिए फिर से आगे की चर्चा को जारी रखेंगे। हमारा मानना है कि हम सब मिलकर के शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से समाधान ढूंढेंगे।
बहुत पॉजिटिव गल हुई है। जो पंजाब सरकार नाल संबंधित विषय ने, जिवें कि सेंटर सरकार ने साडे 3 ਜ਼ਿਲ੍ਹਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ संगरूर जी खनौरी आउंदा, बॉर्डर आउंदा, पटियाला जी शंभू भी आउंदा, एक अपना ਫਤਿਹਗੜ੍ਹ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਚਿੱਠੀ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਧੀਨ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਟ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਾਤਾ। ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਪੇਪਰ ਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਅੱਜ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਉਠਾਇਆ ਨੇ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਪੇਪਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ, ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਸੂਰ ਹੈ?
All right, so the government saying that the talks were positive, and here at the Singhu border as well, security has been ramped up, as I said, and if I can ask my camera person to quickly pan around and show you, before I bring in my colleague Mohammad Ghazali from the Shambhu border, how rapid action forces, are all set with their tear gas canisters, senior police officials also overseeing the situation here, and what we are picking up from the Delhi police is that, there's also a unique coordination, across borders. In fact, there is security ramped up even at the Ghazipur and Tikri borders of the national capital. But let me go across to the Shambhu border where all the action is currently. Mohammad Ghazali joins us now from the Shambhu border. So Ghazali, the talks were held late last night, and the farmers have said that it's ceasefire till the third round of talks actually takes place on Sunday. So the farmers continuing to camp there. What is the situation on the ground as we speak?
See, the situation on the ground is still like the farmers held the talks with the government. It was marathon meeting yesterday, but at the end it was all inconclusive, because this is what has been happening with the talks between the farmers and the government. The main contention as per the farmers is still the legalization of MSP, because besides the legalization of MSP demand, there are certain other demands: waiver of loans, pension for farmers, withdrawal of electricity amendment bill, and then there are certain other demands for which the government had earlier met the commitment back in 2022 when a similar protest was called out from Punjab and Haryana towards the Singhu border. Right now, though the farm union leaders claim that there is a ceasefire, but it is going to be very challenging for the farm union leaders who have called out this protest march, because you can't hold up people sitting at one place without any conclusion, without any information. That creates chaos, that creates confusion, and that also creates restlessness. No matter the government or the farm union leaders may come out to say that talks happened in a cordial atmosphere, everything happened in a very positive backdrop. The Chief Minister of Punjab also participated in the talks. But what is happening as far as the demands are concerned? If Sarwan Singh Pandher, one of the farm union leader who is spearheading this protest, claimed in a press briefing yesterday after the meeting that we are ready for talks. But talks should also lead to some conclusion. We can't keep continuing the talks without reaching any conclusion. Some of the BJP leaders, meanwhile, they say that perhaps the government is trying to buy time, that because in a couple of weeks, perhaps from now, the election code of conduct will also be imposed, and then the government may say that there is nothing we can do as of now since the code of conduct has been imposed. Now, most of the demands of the farmers are such that may involve designing or the framework of the parliament to legalize a law for the MSP or to waive off the loans. The farmers say that these demands are not new. This is not something which we are demanding out of the blue, but certain demands are such which the government had previously promised back in 2020 or 2021 when they lifted their protest from the Singhu border. So why the government which had earlier promised the same is not doing it right now? Now we keep saying that why farmers are taking out this protest, the elections are due, they are going to dent the image of BJP or the union government. The farm union leaders say that every time we take out the protest, this is the same questions which are raised against us, or the same kind of doubts which are raised against us, that we are protesting to influence politics, we are going to influence the elections. But for them, the primary concern is that waive off the debt, legalize MSP, and these are not something which can't be done. Though the opinion is divided, there are some farm experts who claim that legalizing MSP or ensuring MSP for every crop grown in India will lead us to bankruptcy or will certainly take a toll on the government's expenditure. But there are other farm experts who say that it can be done. The government can afford to legalize MSP at least on major crops, because it's not the situation, it's not the protest just of Punjab and Haryana as it is being made out, because those people who are supporting this protest come from UP. There are farm unions from Bihar, There are farmers who traveled all the way from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, but they were stopped midway. And there is a consensus on the issue of whether the farmers should be given an assurance on what they are sowing. The prices, we have seen that it keeps fluctuating on those crops where the MSP has been announced, but the government doesn't procure it. Let's say the cotton crop. Punjab farmers grow cotton crop, they grow maize crop, they grow sunflower, and sugar cane is there. But the assurance of income doesn't mean that the government is buying those crops. You announce MSP every year, that meager hike in the MSP is assured and announced by the government, but the government or any agency is not there which purchases these crops every year. And that is the major grievance of these farmers, that despite assurances in the parliament, outside the parliament, by the government spokespersons, by the agriculture minister, every year we have seen dip, fluctuation in the purchasing price or what you call the selling price of these crops, and that is why they say that it has brought agriculture as a profession to be the most non-profitable. One of the major reasons that why in Punjab youths are also migrating to other places, because not only Punjab but in India agriculture has been the mainstay of economy, and that is something which has taken a severe hit in the last couple of years.
Absolutely, Ghazali. Thanks very much for joining us with that perspective. So, as Ghazali is reporting, while the opinion is divided on whether a legal guarantee on MSP is good economics or bad economics, the fact of the matter is that farmers continue to say that, well, there needs to be a legal guarantee because, of course, as Ghazali is pointing out, they say that agriculture has become the most non-profitable, profession as far as India is concerned. Apart from that, even when there are farm fires in Punjab, farmers continue to say that if there's a legal guarantee on crops like maize and cotton, then they're ready to, in a sense, switch from paddy to these alternative crops. Of course, the ramifications are wide-ranging, but we will keep bringing you ground updates from here, of course, at the Singhu border as well. Security ramped up. In fact, you can see that since the border is sealed, if I can ask my camera person to zoom in, how people are actually crossing the border from the other side to make their way into the national capital. Vehicles are barred, commercial vehicles, private vehicles, all of them are not allowed entry, and people have to walk on foot to reach the national capital from the other side. It is an important day for farmers' unity, for the farmers' agitation today. The Bharat Bandh call also amid the Delhi Chalo March. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Vedant and Ghazali, for joining us with all those details. And switching tracks now, the Prime Minister is scheduled to visit Rewari today in Haryana, where he'll unveil a series of development initiatives totaling to over 9,000 crores, 9,750 to be precise. He will be laying the foundation stone of the Gurugram Metro Rail project, said to be at an estimated cost of 5,450 crore rupees. The Metro Rail, spanning over 28 kilometers, will connect the Millennium City Centre to Univ.Fr.Prof.Dr.RKsingmodi Phase 5, integrating with the existing metro network of Rapid Metro Rail Gurugram near Cyber City, in a bid to strengthen the public health infrastructure as well. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone for the AIIMS Hospital in Rewari in Haryana, which has been built at a cost. It is going to be costing about 1,650 crore rupees. So a lot planned by the Prime Minister in Haryana. We will keep tracking that story. For now, we're slipping into a very short break. Back with a whole lot more. Stay tuned.
How often have you turned away from debates that descend into endless fights? We bring you a show where every question is answered, where every debate finds its resolution, where every story finds its conclusion, where opinions collide but facts prevail, where stories unfold with insights and trust. When the noise ends, the last word begins.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more.
Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
जो कमांडोज इनसे अब हम मिलेंगे वो गरुड़ कमांडोज हैं। तो इनके जो कमांडोज हैं वो भी ये बहुत ही स्पेशली ट्रेन्ड फोर्सेस का हिस्सा हैं और यहाँ पे हमें ब्रीफिंग देंगे, बताएंगे कि किस तरह से इनकी ट्रेनिंग भी होती है। तो हम मिलने चल रहे हैं गरुड़ कमांडोज से। हेलो, गुड आफ्टरनून सर। हम ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि इनकी क्या खास ट्रेनिंग होती है, इनके बारे में कुछ बताएं हमें।
कमांडो की ट्रेनिंग बहुत टफ होती है।
हाँ।
इनका ट्रेनिंग जीआरटीसी से स्टार्ट होती है और फिर आर्मी, एयरफोर्स, नेवी, चारों तरफ ट्रेनिंग होती है।
क्या खास रोल होता है गरुड़ कमांडोज का?
गरुड़ कमांडो का कोई भी मिशन मिले,
हाँ,
उसमें फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर यही होता है गरुड़ कमांडो।
हमने अब जाना कुछ कि ये गरुड़ कमांडोज जो है वो क्या होते हैं, पर अभी हमें ये कुछ स्पेशल एयरबॉर्न अपनी ये ट्रिक्स और वो भी दिखाएंगे, कुछ कमाल दिखाएंगे, कारनामे, जिसे देखने के लिए मैं बहुत उत्सुक हूँ कि क्या होगा। तो हम थोड़ी देर में वो भी विटनेस करेंगे।
तो आज हम ट्रेनिंग मिशन पर जा रहे हैं। अपना हमारा मिशन होगा, यहाँ से हमारा आईजेड है अराउंड 5 मिनट्स का फ्लाइंग टाइम। तो यहाँ से हम लोग इन प्लेन होंगे, वहाँ पे स्लीदर डाउन करना है हमको इंसर्जन जोन में। बेसिकली पर्पस ऑफ स्लीदरिंग इज कि हम कई जगह करते हैं। वॉर टाइम में दुश्मन के इलाके में गरुड़ कमांडो या ट्रूप्स को इंसर्ट करने के लिए करते हैं। पीस टाइम में HADR, प्राकृतिक आपदा कोई आती है तो अगर ट्रूप्स की वहाँ पर रिक्वायरमेंट हो तो उनको इंसर्ट करने के लिए करते हैं। आज ट्रेनिंग मिशन है तो पहला अपना सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशंस पहले हमारे ऊपर है। कोई हम मिशन पे नहीं जा रहे हैं आज, तो अपना सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशंस रख के ध्यान में रखिए।
कमांडोज गए थे, गरुड़ कमांडोज, वो पहुंच गए हैं यहाँ पे और हम देखेंगे अब वो वहाँ से उतरते कैसे। स्लिदरिंग एक्टिविटी है जो अभी हम देखेंगे। तो दे स्पेशली ट्रेन कमांडोज
and they're the first responders.
First responders in every situation, everywhere. They're the specially trained forces. Special care होते हैं इनके और खास ट्रेनिंग।
A lot is dependent on them. It's
Welcome back. Let's get you the latest from West Bengal. And a 6-member BJP fact-finding team formed by BJP Chief JP Nadda will attempt to visit Sandesh Khali today, along with BJP MLA and the team consisting of former police officers and BJP MPs, and that they would then go on to submit a report to the party leadership. Meanwhile, the opposition leader in Lok Sabha, and this is the Congress Committee President, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, will also attempt to visit Sandesh Khali today. Both groups are likely to be stopped by the police as prohibitory orders are in place. To remember, Section 144 has been imposed in the area. Sandesh Khali incident has also reached the Supreme Court, with a lawyer that's filed a petition demanding a special investigation team or a CBI team to probe the matter. We have my colleague Saurabh joining us. Saurabh, take us through what can we expect today. We do know that the BJP there wanting to make their way through. Of course, they want to investigate the matter. We also know that Adil Ranjan Chaudhary will also be trying to get to that area. How difficult is it to enter the area given that Section 144 has been imposed?
Look, Section 144 has been imposed in several parts of Sandesh Khali, and especially the entry points, which is the ferry ghats. And the ferry ghats are the only entry points because Sandesh Khali does not have a direct road connectivity. It's an island, and therefore one has to go there by boat. And therefore, reaching there with prohibitory orders in place can be a challenge, especially when all the ferry ghats or the entry-exit points to Sandesh Khali are under Section 144. Now, who all are expected to visit today? Firstly, there is a 6-member BJP team that has been set up by JP Nadda, the BJP president, that will visit there. It consists of a former DGP of UP and other BJP MPs. It will be also, assisted by Agnimitra Paul, BJP MLA from Asansol. And of course, that team will attempt to go there. But again, the police are likely to stop them from going there. Apart from that, you have the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha and Congress, Pradesh Congress Committee President, Adil Ranjan Chaudhary, who will also attempt to go there. And he is also likely to be stopped from going there. So obviously, both these groups are likely to be stopped from going there. But like you mentioned, the case has now reached the Supreme Court with, obviously, a lawyer filing a petition in the Supreme Court asking for a CBI probe or a special investigation team probe in the Sandesh Khali issue, which has become a major political flashpoint. Mamata Banerjee yesterday spoke on the floor of the Assembly. She said that if there is any injustice, she has never tolerated it. At the same time, she also accused the BJP of fomenting trouble there, even blaming the RSS, saying there's an RSS base there. On the other hand, the BJP says that the TMC is protecting goons and not acting against those who've been accused of these allegations. The police have also put out a statement saying that they've not received any allegation of rape, and they have the police have said a section of the media is spreading willful misinformation. The police have also hit back at BJP IT cell chief and co-in-charge of West Bengal, Amit Malviya, saying that what he has said on Twitter is, further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. And obviously, this has now become a major political flashpoint in the state of West Bengal, and the matter has also reached the Supreme Court.
Right. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for getting us all those details. We will keep coming back to you for more on that. All eyes as far as Sandesh Khali is concerned in West Bengal. Switching tracks now to Manipur, and the tension in the sensitive Churachand district has, in fact, seen fresh violence that erupted last evening. 2 people have died, 25 have been injured. In fact, there are 40 people in total that have been injured in that clash. This is when the security forces clashed with hundreds of people who came out in protest against the suspension of a head constable after a selfie of that head constable that's gone completely viral with armed miscreants. The protesters were seen surrounding the office of the Superintendent of Police, demanding the reinstatement of the head constable, who took a selfie in a bunker of armed miscreants and village defense volunteers atop a hill. Now the countdown to the biggest festival in the world's largest democracy has started, and everyone is prepping for the national elections of 2024. India's future is its youth, and to support that goal, NDTV is launching NDTV 18 Ka Vote campaign to make the youth aware of the need to vote. Our aim is to encourage voters aged 18 to show their strength in the 18th Lok Sabha polls. You can send us your messages, you can send us your videos on hashtag NDTV 18 Ka Vote. We will show them here on NDTV 24/7.
strong and robust here in UAE are actually showcasing this as their big presence. Modi hai to mumkin hai. You look at these visuals of euphoria and great celebrations, you realize that this is almost like a mini India that we are seeing outside India.
भारत यूएई दोस्ती जिंदाबाद.
Beautiful Baps temple crowning glory in what has been Prime Minister's image as Hindu Hriday Samrat.
This is all about Indian culture as well, and also an amalgamation of the culture in the UAE and India.
This temple is a symbol of the centuries of the social, economic and cultural connect between Bharat and the Gulf.
The relationship is inclusive, and the Babs temple stands as proof and evidence of that.
This has become one of our most dynamic, one of our most consequential relationships in the world today. It unifies our community as a whole, which is a wonderful thing.
It means a lot. We are very proud of this temple. It's a temple which symbolizes deepening ties between India and UAE.
ये मंदिर पूरी दुनिया के लिए सांप्रदायिक सौहार्द और वैश्विक एकता का प्रतीक बनेगा.
This show isn't just about news from the southern states. It's one that looks at the rest of India and the world from a diverse South India point of view. Because NDTV has always taken the southern view seriously.
The Southern View with Veera Raghav, only on NDTV 24/7. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
How often have you turned away from debates that descend into endless fights? We bring you a show where every question is answered, where every debate finds its resolution, where every story finds its conclusion, where opinions collide but facts prevail, where stories unfold with insights and trust. When the noise ends, the last word begins.
Welcome back. Now, the Reserve Bank of India and Nepal Rashtriya Bank have signed and exchanged terms of reservation. This is a reference for integration of fast payment systems of India and Nepal, the UPI of India and the NPI of Nepal. Sakshi Bajaj takes us through the details on what this integration is aimed at.
In a significant move towards enhancing financial connectivity between India and Nepal, the Reserve Bank of India and Nepal Rashtriya Bank have signed a pact for UPI-NPI linkage. This pact is for cross-border remittances and to integrate fast payment systems essentially. Now, as per the terms of reference exchanged between the two central banks, the necessary systems will be put in place for interlinking of UPI and NPI, whereas the formal launch of the linkage, that is the commencement of operations, will be done at a later date. India's UPI has been a global frontrunner in digital payment systems, with Sri Lanka, Mauritius, France, UAE, Singapore, Bhutan also using UPI and redefining the ease of payments as well as the way in which payments are made altogether.
Getting you some international news now, and the latest from Gaza. One person has died and several others have been injured in an attack on a hospital. Now, Israel's siege of Al Nasser Hospital in the southern part of Gaza's Khan Yunis continues as tanks enter the hospital compound, and firing has been reported from inside the hospital. Israel claims that Hamas is operating out of the hospital, and Hamas, for its part, has vehemently denied these claims. An estimated 10,000 civilians are taking shelter inside Al Nasser. WHO's chief, that's Tedros, has gone on to say, Dr. Tedros says that he was alarmed by the reports from the hospital, which he described as the backbone of the health system in the southern part of Gaza.
IDF special forces were compelled to operate in the Nasser hospital to fulfill our mission of finding our hostages and hunting down the terrorists that kidnapped them from Israel in the first place. Terrorists that I can now confirm have been hiding and operating from the Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis.
وعندي الولد زي ما قلت لك استشهد مع اخوه في الطريق، ما قدرناش نسحب على مستشفى نصر لان كان في جيش واقف في الطريق، ما رضوش يودونا اياه على نصر. في الطريق فحصوا الجندي لاخوه، فحصوا قال له هذا اخوك ميت سيبه وامشي، روح وسيبه. ما رضاش يسيب اخوه، قال اخويا قال له بطوخك في الجنب ولا تمشي. ورماه وراح. ثاني يوم روحت انا خلونا من مستشفى ناصر، عملوا لنا خلاه من مستشفى ناصر، دورت على ابني في الطريق، يوم ما تعرفت عليه لان اخوه كان حاطه وله عليه علامه يعني انه في المكان كنت بلغنا في الطريق لقيته، والحمد لله الشباب الطيبه شالوه معانا وجبناه الحمد لله دفناه في الأوروبا.
كنت في مستشفى ناصر حصروها هم 5 أيام 6 أيام، ممنوع حد يعدي عليه ولا يطلع. العقوبات كتر اللي بيطلع بتشقوا في قناصين واقفين. بعتولنا أول امبارح في الليل، الصبح قالوا يطلعوا الساعة تقريبا 10، طلع فوج. أنا قمت بدي أطلع موقع ممنوع، المصابين كمان يطلعوا. قمت وقفت أطلع، لبست مشيت خطوتين وقعد.
And there's too much talking with very little being said. Too many voices but hardly any being heard. You turn to a show that puts you front and center. A show that headlines the stories of the people, by the people, for the people.
जब हम अपने एयरफोर्स और अपने जवानों के पास आते हैं, सेना के लोगों से मिलते हैं, तो एक अलग किस्म का जोश होता है। और आपके यहाँ पर तेजपुर पे आना, कुछ यादें वापस आ रही हैं? आप यहाँ पहले आए हुए हैं?
देखिए, मैंने ऊपर वाला से चाहा था कि जब मैं यहाँ शूटिंग कर रहा था तो मैं वापस आऊँ यहाँ। तो मैंने यही कहा था, चाहा कि जब आप लोगों ने मुझे कहा कि ये शो जय जवान जो मेरा फेवरेट शो है, कि मुझे ये मेरा इट्स माय फॉर्च्यून और माय ऑनर एंड प्रिविलेज टू बी ऑन दिस शो, तो मैंने कहा कि तेजपुर में करेंगे। सो द लाइफ कम्स फुल सर्कल, क्योंकि मैंने यूनिवर्स में भेजा था कि मैं यहाँ हूँ और मैं यहाँ हूँ आपके साथ और इस शो के लिए, आपके शो के लिए।
So beautiful. Thank you so much and it's such an honor to have you. और आज पूरा दिन हमारे सामने है, हम देखेंगे कि यहाँ क्या क्या हो रहा है। पूरी तैयारी जो होती है लड़ाकू विमान उड़ाने के पहले, उसको भी हम आज दिन भर देखते हैं। तो चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं यहाँ से। ये हमारे फाइटर क्राफ्ट्स को निकालने के पहले टो किया जाता है। सो दिस इज द टोइंग व्हीकल। हम यहाँ इसमें चलेंगे, देखेंगे किस तरह से सुखोई इसको टो किया जा रहा है। लेट्स गो। बहुत ही कमाल का और बहुत स्पेशल एहसास है कि हम इसमें बैठे हुए हैं और इसको इतने टनों भारी सुखोई जो सुखोई 30 MKI है, ये अपने हैंगर से निकल रहा है और ये टो किया जा रहा है उड़ान भरने के पहले। आप लोग तो यहाँ पर पिछले दिनों आए और आप लोगों ने शूटिंग की, तो आपको काफ़ी अच्छा ये एक्सपीरियंस मिला होगा कि किस तरह से हमारे फाइटर क्राफ्ट्स, बल्कि फिल्म जो है फाइटर, उसमें इसका बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस हुआ होगा, समझने का, देखने का, कैसे हमारी एयरफोर्स और एयरमैन काम करते हैं।
नहीं, एब्सोल्युटली बड़ा मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है घर वापसी है मेरे लिए। एंड और सबसे मिलना, भाइयों से मिलना और पूरे टीम मेंबर्स और जिन्होंने मेरी हम सबकी और इस फिल्म की बहुत ही, इनके ज्ञान नहीं आते तो ये फिल्म जो आप देख रहे हैं वो देख नहीं सकते आप। सब ने जो भी काम किया है फिल्म के अंदर और जो जो डिटेलिंग हुई है हर चीज़ की, वी आर जस्ट वेरी वेरी प्राउड दैट वी हैव सच अ ग्रेट ऑफिसर्स एंड ग्रेट एएफएस।
बिल्कुल बहुत ही खास मौका, बहुत खास दमा है और आप वापस आए यहाँ पर। इट जस्ट शोज हाउ स्पेशल द एक्सपीरियंस मस्ट हैव बीन फॉर यू।
नहीं एक्चुअली सुखोई में बैठना, सुखोई को देखना, उनका टेक ऑफ, उनकी लैंडिंग आसमान में, समथिंग एल्स।
जब आपने पहली वो यूनिफॉर्म पहना होगा जो आपके लिए बनाया गया होगा, वेरी स्पेशल फीलिंग।
पहले मैंने जब मैं सबको देखता था तो मुझे लगा बड़ा आसान होगा देखने में, मगर जब मैंने पहली बार पहना मैंने नहीं, आई हैव टू बिकम फिट अप, आई हैव टू लुक बेटर, सो फॉर दैट टू गेट इनटू दैट यूनिफॉर्म, इतना फिट नहीं हूँ अभी जितना मैं था जब मैं शूटिंग कर रहा था मगर उसके लिए मैंने काफी वजन भी कम किया और आई हैड टू रिड्यूस इन इंचेस टू गेट इनटू दैट यूनिफॉर्म सो दैट आई गिव फुल।
Welcome back. Now in an exclusive interview with NDTV, Ashok Chavan, the former Maharashtra Chief Minister who quit the Congress Party and has joined the BJP recently, talks about the reasons behind him quitting the Congress Party. He says the mood of the nation is with the BJP. Listen in.
महाराष्ट्र के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री, 2 बार सांसद, 4 बार विधायक रहे अशोक चौहान जी इस वक्त हमारे साथ हैं। अशोक जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अपना कीमती वक्त हमें देने के लिए और बधाई राज्यसभा की उम्मीदवारी के लिए।
थैंक यू।
और इससे ही जुड़ा सर एक सवाल, जो लोग कह रहे हैं कि 38 साल की वफादारी आपने इसी उम्मीदवारी के लिए छोड़ी और भाजपा का दामन आपने थामा, उनको आज आप क्या जवाब देना चाहेंगे?
नहीं, इस अपॉर्चुनिटी के लिए मैंने छोड़ी, इसमें कोई सच्चाई नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं लोकसभा लड़ चुका हूँ, 4 लोकसभा में 2 बार जीत चुका हूँ, एमएलए में कई साल जीतते आ रहा हूँ, तो मैंने कभी चुनाव से मैंने अलग नहीं समझा अपने आप को। कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी चुनाव की जब भी मुझसे कहा गया, मैंने कॉन्टेस्ट किया है और लाख सवा लाख से वोट से मैं चुनकर आया हूँ, तो इसमें कोई सच्चाई नहीं कि आई शिफ्टेड ओनली फॉर गेटिंग अ राज्यसभा नॉमिनेशन। तो कांग्रेस में भी मांग सकता था ना, मैं आज कांग्रेस की एक जगह थी तो मैं कांग्रेस से भी मांग सकता था, वो इशू नहीं है उसमें। सवाल ऐसा है कि हालात जो मौजूदा कांग्रेस विज़ाविज़ बीजेपी के है, तो मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि कांग्रेस की कोई लड़ाई की तैयारी जो स्टेट में होनी चाहिए, दुर्भाग्य से उसमें कोई खास नज़र नहीं आ रहा है और हम लड़ेंगे ही नहीं तो जीतेंगे कैसे। तो ये लड़ने की तैयारी यहाँ पर कुछ ठीक से नहीं है, ना वर्कर्स को एंथ्यूज करने के बारे में कुछ फैसले हैं, लोगों की मानसिकता, वर्कर्स की मानसिकता, मौजूदा ग्राउंड रियलिटी क्या है, उसके ऊपर एक्शन प्लान क्या है, हमें उम्मीदवारों का चयन करना है, उसकी तैयारी क्या है। 1.5 साल से वक्त ज़ाया हो रहा है और कुछ नहीं हो रहा है। सो आई थिंक दैट बेटर अपॉर्चुनिटी लाइज, अकेला चुन कर आऊँगा यहाँ कुछ होगा तो फायदा क्या है। नेशनल लेवल पे काम करने का मौका अगर मिलता है और बीजेपी जैसे नेशनल पार्टीज का आज लोगों का मूड ऑफ द नेशन, अगर मैं कहूँगा कि लोग बीजेपी की तरफ झुकाव दिन ब दिन बढ़ते जा रहा है, अपोजिशन कमजोर होने के कारण निश्चित तौर पर बेसिकली जो काम भाजपा ने किया है अंडर द प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स लीडरशिप, आई थिंक अमेजिंग काम हुआ है। ये तो सब बात मानते ही हैं, तो दिखाई विजिबल है, ऐसे कोई चुप के तो है नहीं। आई थिंक चाहे वो नेशनल सिनेरियो हो, इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे पब्लिक रिलेशंस की बात हो, चाहे वो इंडिविजुअल गरीब SC/ST के बेनिफिट्स की स्कीम्स हो, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना की बात हो, ऐसे कई चीज़ें हैं जिसके ऊपर एक अच्छा काम दिखाई दे रहा है। इट्स विजिबल, कहीं भी बात ये नहीं, विजिबल है। ये ध्यान में रखते हुए आई थिंक द मूड ऑफ द नेशन जो है और पिलग्रिम सेंटर्स डेवलप हो रहे हैं, तो लोगों का रुझान दिखाई जो दे रहा है कि संभावना पूरी ताकत से भाजपा की तैयारी इन टर्म्स ऑफ वर्क, इन टर्म्स ऑफ पॉलिटिकल मैनेजमेंट अच्छा हुआ है।
And now for a very special interview with India's Sini Shetty. She's all set to participate in the Miss World pageant, which will be held in India after almost 3 decades on the 9th of March. What does Sini Shetty have to say about the upcoming pageant and playing host to 120 fellow contestants? Let's listen in. Hello and welcome welcome to a very special interview with Sini Shetty, our Miss India, who will be representing our country at the Miss World contest, which is going to be taking place in India after 1996. Sini, thank you for speaking to us here at NDTV. You're not only representing India on the global front, but also playing host to the contestants from 120 countries, which is a huge honor, but also a huge responsibility.
I do agree it's a great responsibility and a great honor. I'm super excited for all of them to come here. You know, we call India, back then we used to call India as a land of snake charmers. There's a small tweak. I think we're still charmers and we have charmed everyone, and I hope that everyone coming here are charmed by the traditions, by our hospitality. And I'm sure that we put up India and we live up to the Indian hospitality standard.
Sini, do you feel over the years the Miss World pageant has gained popularity or perhaps lost some of its popularity, something that might change with Miss India making a comeback after 1996, almost 3 decades?
Let me tell you something. I still remember my friend saying that, you know, Miss India is such a prestige for all of us. Miss World is such a prestige for all of us. I still remember my friend saying that as a, you know, anecdote saying that, "So Miss India hai kya?" So I think there's no relevance that is lost yet, but there's a lot of inspirational factor that comes with it, because a group of women representing and standing up for each other and advocating issues that they think are relevant, I feel that we live with a purpose, we come with a purpose, and that's why we say that we are beauty with purpose.
How would you showcase India to your fellow contestants? Would you be showcasing the emerging part of India or the heritage of our nation?
You know, the best part about India is a living monument. We are an amalgamation of what a modern world and a traditional world looks like. I'm sure all the girls coming here, most of them are coming here for the first time, will be wowed by the Indian traditions, the heritage, the culture that we carry. But at the same time, they will be amazed by how we are scaling for greater heights. We're reaching, you know, sky is the limit. I think that quote India has taken really seriously. In the 5th largest economy, we are embarking on every opportunity to greater heights. So I think it's an amalgamation of both that I would be showcasing to the world stage.
Sini, let's talk about confidence. Is it something that's inherent or something that is a daily battle to be won?
I think confidence is something that comes as how secure you are as a person. I do believe that I am the most confident in my own natural body. And that is something that comes when you talk to yourself in the mirror and you say that, yes, you are perfect the way you are, which is a very important message for the generation today, because social media has put up an image. Real life has taken over, where kids today do doubt about themselves. So just look at the mirror and just say that you're perfect the way you are, and I'm confident in my own skin.
Many feel such pageants put a lot of pressure on young, impressionable minds. Does it at some level force people to conform to a certain size or a certain look?
I do not believe that. I do believe that beauty comes as a part of this contest, but the purpose is much more bigger. Initiatives like Beauty with a Purpose, understanding who you are, what your authenticity is, how could we as an organization and we as a part of the organization can help the world, that comes in a bigger picture. Beauty is a part of this entire world of pageantry, but I'm a part of something that is very beautiful, that is something so unique, and which is the Miss World contest. And Beauty with a Purpose is something that highlights. We have come a long way. I do agree that there's a long way to go. There could be a lot of additions, but I do feel that we are marching towards a progressive future.
Is social media now being looked upon as a platform for beginners and perhaps an overkill for the much established lot?
I do not believe that. I feel social media is a place where you place your opinions. I think which is accessible to the entire world. I do believe that is a great place for beginners to start their journey. But when it comes to being an overkill to experts, I do not believe that.
Thank you so much, Sini, for talking to us here at NDTV. And here's wishing you all the very best for the Miss World contest that's going to be taking place on the 9th of March here in India.
Thank you so much, Divya. Lovely speaking to you.
Switching tracks to Uttar Pradesh now, and today we're going to show you the development journey of a community which is 11 kilometers from Gorakhpur. This is the Vantagya community, which came to, this has remained anonymous for about 100 years. They were deprived of schools and hospitals even. Take a look at this report.
संघर्ष सकारात्मक भाव के साथ किया गया कोई भी संघर्ष कभी व्यर्थ नहीं जाता है। जो संघर्ष वनटांगिया के लिए हुआ था वह सार्थक हुआ है और हमें प्रसन्नता और तब होती है जब अब वनटांगिया गांव में भी यहाँ के गरीबों के पक्के मकान देखता हूँ।
वहां से विकास, वहां से वनटांगिया, इन दोनों के बीच का फासला लम्हों का नहीं बल्कि सदियों का है। 21वीं सदी में चल रही इस दुनिया में ये जंगल में रहने वाला समुदाय अंधेरों में डूबा हुआ था। फिर एक दिन एक तपस्वी की नजर पड़ती है और वो इस समुदाय के लोगों के कच्ची झोपड़ियों को चमकते हुए सूरज की ओर मोड़ देते हैं और कहते हैं, किसी का साथ देकर हौसलों की छांव बन जाएं, किसी को आंख देकर रोशनी का गांव बन जाएं, दिया कुदरत ने जो हमको चलो हम बांट लें ऐसे, किसी के हाथ बन जाएं, किसी के पांव बन जाएं। और उन्होंने ये करके दिखाया। आज इस जंगल में रहने वाले वनटांगिया समुदाय के पास उनकी अपनी पहचान है। नमस्कार, मैं अनामिका जैनंबर स्वागत करती हूँ आप सभी का इस विशेष प्रस्तुति में जिसका नाम है मेरा उत्तर प्रदेश नया उत्तर प्रदेश में। आज आपको गोरखपुर से महज 11 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर यहाँ वनटांगिया समुदाय की विकास यात्रा कराने के लिए उपस्थित हुई है। पूर्वी उत्तर प्रदेश के गोंडा, महाराजगंज और गोरखपुर में रहते हैं वनटांगिया समुदाय के ये लोग। गोरखपुर की बात करें तो कुसुमही जंगल से 5 गांव, तिनकोनिया नंबर 3, रजही खाले टोला, रजही नर्सरी, आमबाग नर्सरी और चिलबिलवा टोला से ये 5 ऐसे गांव हैं जहां पर इनकी रिहायश है। 1918 के आसपास का समय था जब लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन ने अलग अलग हिस्सों से इन लोगों को यहाँ पर साखू का पेड़ और जंगल लगाने के लिए बुलाया था। ये लोग बर्मी विधि टोंगिया से पेड़ लगाते थे, इसलिए इनका नाम वनटांगिया पड़ा। 100 सालों से 2017 तक जंगलों में रह रहा ये समुदाय पिछड़ेपन, गुमनामी और उपेक्षा का शिकार रहा है। इनके पास ना तो मालिकाना हक था, न इनके पास कोई अधिकार, न ही इनके नाम मकान, न वोटर कार्ड। गांवों की तस्वीर और वनटांगिया समुदाय के लोगों की तकदीर तब बदली जब योगी आदित्यनाथ जी गोरखपुर से सांसद हुए। उन्होंने इनके अधिकारों के लिए लड़ाई लड़ी। 2017 में योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने उत्तर प्रदेश की कमान संभाली, तब उन्होंने इनके मूलभूत अधिकारों के लिए लड़ाई लड़ना प्रारंभ कर दिया।
1947 से लेकर 2017 तक बिजली नहीं पहुंची थी, एक भी पक्का मकान नहीं था, लेकिन आज मैं ऊपर से देख रहा था हर एक का पक्का मकान बन चुका है। मैं पक्का मकान बनाने के लिए आप सबको बधाई देता हूँ।
इतना ही नहीं, उन्होंने इन वन ग्रामों को राजस्व ग्रामों का दर्जा दिलाने के लिए जो संकल्प लिया उसको पूर्ण भी करने के लिए अग्रसर हुए। लगभग 50,000 से ज्यादा लोगों को यहाँ की नागरिकता दिलाई।
हम लोग पढ़ नहीं पाते थे, बिजली नहीं थी। आज हमारे योगी जी जब से मुख्यमंत्री हुए तब से हमारे वनटांगिया में पूरा मिल गया सुविधा।
आज मेरे गांव जंगल तिनकोनिया जहाँ मेरी उनसे बात हो रही है, यहाँ पर 440 मुख्यमंत्री आवास है, यहाँ पर 440 शौचालय है, आंगनबाड़ी है, कंपोजिट स्कूल है और यहाँ पर जो कि बिजली है कि जो बिजली के लिए बच्चे तरसते थे।
पिछले 6.5 वर्षों में वनटांगिया के गांव के लोगों के लिए पक्के मकान, बिजली, नल, सड़क, स्ट्रीट लाइट, चिकित्सा, आंगनबाड़ी केंद्र, निजी शौचालय जैसी योजनाओं का लाभ मिला है। अंत्योदय कार्ड के साथ साथ मनरेगा जॉब कार्ड की योजनाओं का भी लाभ मिला है। इन सभी सुविधाओं के साथ योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ये जानते हैं कि किसी भी समाज को सशक्त बनाने के लिए वहाँ की महिलाओं को सशक्त बनाना आवश्यक है। उनको आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण आजीविका मिशन से 200 से ज्यादा महिलाओं को जोड़ा गया है, उन्हें बीसी सखी बनाया गया है। पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश में हाशिए पर रखे हुए इस समुदाय के लोगों के बीच हमारे मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी हर साल दिवाली मनाते हैं।
कहाँ से आवे ना जोगी बाबा का यसाना, कहाँ से आवे ना लखनऊ से आवे हीरा मोती, मंदिर से आवे रताना, माया अयोध्या से आवे ना जोगी बाबा का यसाना, माया अयोध्या से आवे।
गांव वाले ये कहते हैं कि उनके राम तो बाबा योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ही हैं, वही हैं जिनके आगमन पर सही मायने में दिवाली मनाई जाती है। इसका अर्थ ये है कि यदि नियत साफ हो और संकल्प शक्ति हो तो बिगड़ी हुई तस्वीर और तकदीर दोनों संवर सकते हैं।
गोरखपुर, बनटांगिया और उत्तर प्रदेश की दीपोत्सव है।
Brought to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
And there's too much talking with very little being said. Too many voices with hardly any being heard. You turn to a show that puts you front and center. A show that headlines the stories of the people, by the people, for the people.
हमारे साथ हैं मशहूर एक्टर अनिल कपूर और उनसे इस वक्त बारी है कुछ रैपिड फायर क्वेश्चंस की। अनिल जी, आपको बस जल्दी जल्दी हाँ ना में बताना पड़ेगा। खाने में क्या पसंद है, मीठा या नमकीन?
नमकीन।
योगा या जिम?
जिम और योगा, सॉरी, बोथ।
वेट्स या फ्री हैंड?
वेट्स।
मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल विद व्हिच एक्ट्रेस?
माधुरी दीक्षित।
एनी फेवरेट डायरेक्टर्स?
डैनी बॉयल, शेखर कपूर, quite a few of them.
हर्षवर्धन आपकी सुनते हैं या अपनी मम्मी की?
किसी की नहीं सुनते।
सोनम आपसे ज्यादा क्लोज है या मम्मी से?
मम्मी से।
घर में किसकी ज्यादा चलती है?
मम्मी की।
मम्मी की, आपकी मम्मी की?
मम्मी मतलब सुनीता, सोनम की मम्मी और हर्ष की मम्मी और दिया की मम्मी।
What's fitness for you?
Way of life.
What's your favorite sport?
Badminton at the moment.
Who's a better actor, Sonam or Harshvardhan?
Both.
Better actor.
Both are great actors, good actors. They have to work hard and become better.
What do you prefer now? आपको क्या ज़्यादा पसंद है? Long format या फिर फिल्में?
Both, I think. I think I've done both, and I have enjoyed doing both. You know, I did a long format at 24 and Night Manager, and of course, फिल्में तो मैं बचपन से कर रहा हूँ. When I did one of the ads, and it's something very, you know, something which really it's stood the test of time. Yeah.
You know, like your preferred genre for film, comedy or action?
Comedy, because comedy is something which you either you can do it or you have it or you don't have it. Their lighting, director, music, background music, that cannot help you. You have to do it yourself. With action and with dramatic scenes, and, with anger, and violence, sex. There's a lot of things which can really help you in that. जबरदस्त background music चलेगा, ऐसा लगेगा बहुत जबरदस्त काम हो रहा है. Comedy में सब चलेगा नहीं. और ये खुद कर रहा हूँ.
सोशल मीडिया पसंद है आपको? Are you on Instagram?
Yes.
What is Gen Z for you?
Gen Z for me is, I think, Gen Z is the mind, For me, anybody who has a young mind, for me is Gen Z. Yeah.
You would call yourself a Gen Z?
Absolutely.
Great.
Diaspora, which is pretty strong and robust here in UAE, are actually showcasing this as their big presence.
मोदी है तो मुमकिन है।
When you look at these visuals of euphoria and great celebrations, you realize that this is almost like a mini India that we are seeing outside India.
भारत UAE दोस्ती जिंदाबाद.
Beautiful BAPS temple crowning glory in what has been Prime Minister's image as Hindu Hriday Samrat.
This is all about Indian culture as well, and also an amalgamation.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Farmers' bodies call for nationwide bandh. Day-long protest by farmers. Section 144 imposed across Noida. Security enhanced at borders. Government farmers deadlock continues as round 3 of talks on Thursday remained inconclusive. Next round of talks on Sunday. At least 2 died and 40 others injured in a clash with security forces in Manipur's Churachandpur during a protest against the suspension of a head constable. Sandesh Khali violence case reaches Supreme Court. Petition seeks probe by Special Investigation Team or CBI. 6-member BJP delegation set to visit Sandesh Khali. Karnataka budget to be presented today. Spotlight expected to be on agriculture and infrastructure as well as Brand Bengaluru initiative. US condemns attacks against Indian students, says there is no excuse for violence. A top focus, various farmers' unions, including the Samyukt Kisan Morcha, called for a Gramin Bharat Bandh, a nationwide strike. The SKM has requested all like-minded farmers' organizations to come together and to be a part of the Bharat Bandh, a day-long protest beginning from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. The protesting farmers will continue their march to Delhi but hold another round of talks on Sunday. The decision came at a third round of talks late last night. EA looks forward to nationwide strike with the farmers' issues. The meeting in Chandigarh was held amid a standoff on the Punjab-Haryana borders as thousands of farmers marching to Delhi were met with tear gas and water cannons by the cops. The protesters demand mainly including a law guaranteeing a minimum support price for crops and a farm law waiver as well, among other demands. Two Union ministers Arjun Munda and Piyush Goyal as well as Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann attended the meeting, following which Arjun Munda, Union Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, that the issues will be discussed in detail on the meeting on Sunday, during which both sides will try to find a solution. Listening to what the leaders had to say.
पॉजिटिव चर्चा हुई है। किसान संगठनों ने जिन विषयों पर ध्यान आकृष्ट कराया है, संज्ञान में लेते हुए विस्तार पूर्वक चर्चा को हमने करते हुए अगली तिथि रविवार को शाम 6 बजे के लिए फिर से आगे की चर्चा को जारी रखें।